Before we talk about CPM AI, we need to start with the right foundation. Agile is not just a way of working, it is the mindset that makes managing AI projects possible.
AI projects are uncertain by nature. Data changes, assumptions break, and results are not predictable upfront. Agile prepares teams to operate in this uncertainty instead of trying to control it with rigid plans.
That is why Agile comes before CPM AI. Agile teaches teams how to experiment safely, learn quickly, and adapt decisions based on evidence rather than assumptions.
It also shifts the focus to value. Instead of delivering predefined outputs, teams focus on learning what actually works and adjusting direction early, which is essential in AI initiatives.
So think of Agile as the mindset. CPM AI builds on that mindset to provide structure for managing AI projects end to end. And that is exactly where we are heading next. This slide answers a critical question. Why does Agile come before AI? The short answer is simple. You cannot manage AI effectively without an adaptive mindset.
AI projects rarely follow a straight line. Data evolves, assumptions fail, and priorities shift. Agile is designed for this reality. It replaces long-term certainty with short cycles of learning and adjustment.
This is where many teams struggle. They try to apply AI with fixed plans and predefined outcomes. Agile changes that by encouraging early validation, fast feedback, and continuous improvement.
And adaptive goals are key here. Instead of locking objectives too early, teams refine them as new evidence appears. This prevents false certainty and reduces wasted effort, which is essential in AI initiatives.
So before CPM AI gives you structure and governance, Agile gives you the mindset. It teaches teams how to learn, adapt, and collaborate when outcomes are not fully known.
Once that mindset is in place, CPM AI can do its job properly. It builds on agile thinking to manage AI projects in a disciplined, realistic, and value-focused way.
At its core, Agile is about managing uncertainty, not trying to eliminate it.
Instead of relying on fixed plans, Agile encourages short cycles where teams learn from real results. Each iteration becomes a chance to test assumptions and adjust direction based on evidence.
Continuous feedback plays a critical role here. Feedback is not just about progress updates, it is how teams discover risks, data issues, and misalignment early before they turn into major problems.
Iterative learning connects everything. Teams learn from each cycle, refine their approach, and improve decisions over time. This is especially important in AI projects where learning is part of the delivery process.
Adaptive goals make this possible. Goals are treated as flexible targets that evolve as teams gain new insights, rather than fixed commitments defined too early.
And team autonomy supports speed. When teams are trusted to make local decisions within clear boundaries, they can respond faster to new data and changing conditions.
Together, these principles create an agile mindset that fits naturally with AI work and sets the foundation for applying CPM AI effectively. This slide goes deeper into two ideas that are absolutely critical in Agile, especially when we talk about AI projects. The first one is continuous feedback.
In Agile, feedback is not something that happens at the end. It is built into the way teams work. Every short cycle gives new signals about what is working, what is not, and what needs to change.
That feedback helps teams validate assumptions early. In AI projects, assumptions about data quality, model behavior, or value are often wrong at first. Continuous feedback exposes those issues before they grow into major risks.
The second principle is iterative learning. Each iteration is treated as a learning experiment. Teams test ideas against real data and use the results to improve their next decisions.
This is a key mindset shift. Progress is not measured only by what was built, but by what was learned. That learning reduces uncertainty and guides the project forward.
Together, continuous feedback and iterative learning create a rhythm where teams adapt based on evidence, not opinions. And that rhythm is essential before applying CPM AI.
Let's focus on adaptive goals, which is one of the hardest shifts for teams coming from traditional project management.
Yes, many teams are used to fixing goals early and protecting them at all costs. Agile takes a different approach. Goals are treated as adjustable targets that evolve as teams learn more about the problem.
In AI projects, this is essential. As data quality, technical constraints, and risks become clearer, goals need to be refined to stay aligned with real business value instead of outdated assumptions.
Adaptive goals also help teams avoid premature optimization. Instead of locking decisions too early, teams keep options open until evidence supports the right direction.
That flexibility connects directly to team autonomy. Agile teams are trusted to make local decisions within clear boundaries without waiting for constant approvals.
Autonomy enables faster experimentation and quicker responses to new data. It allows teams to learn, adjust, and move forward without unnecessary delays.
Together, adaptive goals and team autonomy create the conditions Agile needs to work in uncertain environments and set the stage for applying CPM AI effectively. This slide highlights why Agile thinking is so valuable, especially in uncertain and data-driven environments like AI projects.
One of the biggest benefits is engagement. Teams become more engaged because they can see progress early, learn from real results, and understand how their work contributes to outcomes, not just tasks.
Continuous development is another key advantage. Agile creates a learning loop where teams constantly improve their understanding of the problem, the data, and the solution over time.
This ongoing development reduces risk. Instead of discovering issues late, teams uncover problems early and adjust direction before effort is wasted.
Flexible goals tie everything together. When goals can evolve, teams are not trapped by early assumptions. They can adapt as evidence grows and priorities shift.
Taken together, these benefits explain why Agile works so well in AI initiatives. It does not remove uncertainty, but it helps teams manage it effectively.
And that is exactly why Agile thinking is a critical foundation before moving into CPM AI. Let's break Agile into its core building blocks. These are not frameworks or ceremonies. They are the components that allow teams to function when uncertainty is high.
Exactly. Agile works because these components reinforce each other. They create fast alignment, visibility, and learning, which is critical when data, assumptions, and priorities keep changing.
Collaborative goal setting is where it starts. Instead of goals being imposed up front, teams and stakeholders align continuously on what success looks like as understanding improves.
Frequent check-ins then provide rhythm. They give teams regular moments to inspect progress, surface risks, and recalibrate direction before small issues become big problems.
And continuous feedback mechanisms tie everything together. Feedback does not come only from people. It comes from data, experiments, results, and stakeholder input.
This combination keeps teams focused on business value rather than rigid plans. It allows them to adapt intelligently as new information emerges.
These components explain why Agile fits so naturally with AI work and why they form the foundation for applying CPAI effectively. Now, Agile becomes very real. Implementing Agile in uncertain environments requires more than adopting a few practices. It starts with accepting that uncertainty is part of the work.
Teams need to feel safe to experiment, surface problems, and admit when assumptions are wrong. Without that kind of culture, Agile quickly turns into empty rituals.
A supportive culture creates psychological safety. It encourages transparency and fast learning, which is essential when teams are dealing with evolving data and unclear outcomes.
And leadership plays a critical role here. Agile leaders are not controllers. They act as enablers by setting clear boundaries, removing obstacles, and trusting teams to make decisions.
This allows teams to operate in short cycles, test ideas against real evidence, and adjust direction quickly without waiting for heavy approvals.
When culture and leadership support this way of working, Agile becomes effective in complex environments and creates the conditions needed to apply CPMAI successfully.
Let's address one of the most important realities of Agile. Adopting it is not easy, especially in complex and uncertain environments.
Yes, many challenges appear when teams move away from upfront certainty. Resistance to change often comes from the discomfort of losing detailed plans and fixed expectations.
Another common issue is consistency. In Agile, consistency is not about following the same plan every time. It is about maintaining a stable rhythm, clear intent, and disciplined feedback loops.
Feedback quality is also critical. If feedback is vague or opinion-based, teams struggle to learn. Agile works best when feedback is concrete, actionable, and grounded in real evidence.
These challenges are normal, but they must be addressed intentionally. When teams understand why these difficulties exist, they are better prepared to manage them.
And this awareness is essential before moving into CPMAI, where uncertainty, learning, and adaptation become even more central.
Let's dive deeper into the real challenges teams face when adopting Agile in uncertain environments.
Resistance to change is usually the first one. It often comes from losing the sense of control that fixed plans provide. Agile asks teams to make decisions based on learning, which can feel uncomfortable without strong leadership support.
Maintaining consistency is another common misunderstanding. In Agile, consistency does not mean sticking to the same plan. It means keeping a stable cadence, clear goals, and reliable feedback loops while solutions continue to evolve.
Feedback quality is equally critical. When feedback is vague or opinion-driven, learning slows down and risk increases. Agile teams need feedback that is concrete, actionable, and based on real data and outcomes.
These challenges are not signs of failure. They are natural parts of the transition. Recognizing them early helps teams address them intentionally.
And this mindset is essential before moving into CPMAI, where managing uncertainty and learning effectively becomes even more important.
Now, we should reframe how we should think about tools in Agile. Tools are not there to manage people. They exist to support learning and better decisions.
In uncertain environments, visibility is everything. Agile tools help teams see what is happening in real time, whether that is progress, risks, or assumptions that no longer hold.
Digital platforms for feedback play a key role here. They collect signals from data, experiments, and stakeholders, allowing teams to adjust direction quickly instead of waiting until the end.
Goal tracking systems serve a similar purpose. They're not about checking boxes. They help teams understand whether they are still aligned with business value as priorities and constraints change.
When used well, these tools accelerate learning and reduce risk. They make misalignment visible early when it is still cheap to fix.
And that is why tools are an enabler of Agile thinking, not a replacement for it. This perspective becomes even more important as we transition into managing AI projects.
This slide goes one level deeper into how tools actually support Agile learning and adaptation.
Digital platforms for feedback are essential because they shorten the distance between action and insight. They capture signals from data, experiments, and real outcomes, not just opinions.
That visibility is critical. When progress and issues are visible early, teams can adjust quickly instead of reacting after problems have already grown.
Goal tracking systems work in a similar way, but at a higher level. They help teams understand whether they are still aligned with business value, not just whether tasks are completed.
This is especially important in AI and other uncertain initiatives. Priorities, assumptions, and constraints change, and goals need to evolve with them.
Together, these tools support adaptive decision-making. They do not remove uncertainty, but they help teams respond to it faster and with better information.
And that capability becomes a key foundation before moving into AI projects, where managing learning, alignment, and value is central. This slide brings everything together by looking at real Agile success stories. When organizations succeed with Agile, they usually follow the same pattern.
They accept uncertainty instead of fighting it. Rather than waiting for perfect information, they use short feedback loops to learn quickly and adjust direction early.
Frequent inspection and collaborative alignment play a big role here. Teams stay close to reality by continuously checking progress and assumptions instead of relying on static plans.
Another common factor is evidence-based decision-making. Successful teams rely on data, experiments, and real outcomes to guide their choices, not just opinions or intuition.
This approach reduces risk and prevents late surprises. Issues are detected early when changes are still manageable and affordable.
These success stories show why Agile works so well in complex environments and why it provides the right foundation before applying project methodologies or best practices.
We are now at the conclusion of this masterclass, and the key message is simple. Agile provides the mindset required to operate in complex, uncertain, and fast-changing environments.
Agile teaches teams how to think differently. It emphasizes learning over certainty, feedback over assumptions, and adaptation over rigid plans. This is why it works so well when outcomes cannot be fully defined up front.
But this is also where an important limit appears. Agile alone is no longer enough to manage AI initiatives effectively.
As projects become more data-driven and model-centric, teams face new challenges: data uncertainty, model iteration, evaluation, and operationalization require more structure than Agile provides on its own.
And this is exactly where CPM-AI comes in. CPM-AI builds on Agile foundations and extends them with a complete methodology to manage AI projects end-to-end.
So think of it this way. Agile gives you the mindset. CPM-AI gives you the discipline, structure, and governance needed for AI work.
In the next part of this journey, we will move into CPM-AI and explore how it transforms Agile thinking into practical AI project management.
Thank you for joining us. If this session helped clarify how Agile and CPM-AI fit together, make sure to continue with the next module and deepen your understanding.
We look forward to seeing you in future masterclasses.